we're coming back home to all you people.
Well, a gal's got to do some summer holidaying, right?
That's true. And it's been crazy busy lately.
I
So
know.
it's been good to take a little break, but now we are back and we've got some crazy cool stuff to talk to you guys about today. And a big part of that is business with horses.
Business. It's one of my most favorite things in this whole wide world, besides horses. It is then being an entrepreneur and actually understanding how to run a horse business. It's so exciting. It's so hard, but it's so worth it when we actually understand all of the components that are required in setting that foundation for ourselves to have a very successful business with horses.
Yeah. And it's cool because why we really came up with everything we're going to talk to you about today is because we had lots of people who came to us and said that they had taken courses or they had taken lots of other courses and they said, I just don't know what to do with it after.
Yeah, like a gala or field path. We get a few of them just saying, hey, is there any way that you can just help me with that business piece? Because they love their certification, but it's like, but I don't know what to do with it now.
Exactly.
So if you're in that same boat, it's a great way to listen in because lots of people are in that same boat and I don't know what to do next.
Exactly. Oh, see, we've got our lovely Lenore on already. Good morning. Anybody else who's watching, please put in the comments who you are, where you're from. We always like to know who's watching and who's chatting with us today, and ask lots of questions today too. We really always appreciate the questions. So just going into our regular rigmarole here. If you guys hear something that you're super impressed with or blows your mind, hashtag
holy jumping tuna fish
or the little tuna fishies. We are happy with those as well. But it brings us great joy when we know that we've brought a little bit of extra information or something cool to your brain for the day. Another piece, of course, is to share, because sharing is caring. And if you do know anybody who's in the horse industry side of things or who maybe is struggling getting their business off the ground, this would be a really, really good one to share with them because it might give them a little bit of ideas of what they can do and how they can move forward with it as well. Oh, we got a couple more people.
And that's right. And no matter what industry and that horse business that they are in, these will be helpful pieces.
And if you are catching this later on replay, throw in that hashtag replay as well. We always like to know who's joined us after the fact too. And one thing we always like to remind you guys is that we are life changers. Every single one of us, every single horse, every single human, we have the ability to positively impact somebody's life every single day that we live and breathe. And that's one thing that I think we've really created with our big group of people that we have on Facebook here is that every single one of us is a life changer. So we're so excited that all of you have joined us today to continue that life-changing piece.
You bet. You're in our tribe now. And even if you don't feel like you are a life changer, you are a life changer.
Darn tootin'. So I guess we should introduce ourselves because it's
probably smart.
Yeah. So my name's Carolyn Charles. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmick, the founder and master instructor for the Equine Connection, helping people globally around the world do what it is that we do. Well, and what do? We certify humans in understanding how to run this stunning certification course and where the horses are actually the teachers and the horses' welfare is number one in this certification. We do not use our horses. We actually partner and work with them because they're the ones that give us the answers to all of our objectively driven programs that always give and bring our clients results, because that's the best part of it, is when the human can actually make the choice to choose to make a change or choose not to make a change. But when a horse tells them so, they're like, I already know this about me. So it is very, very exciting. But the other bonus for myself is I have been an entrepreneur since I've been in diapers. So you see, this is why it's so great that we're talking about business with horses today, because, you know, when we started this, many moons ago, 2008, I believe, you know, because I've always been an entrepreneur, I really felt there was going to be no problem having clients knock down the door because I was going to be so busy. And then Carolyn joined the team because she is IT, website, anything to do with the computer world. And yet we could not, for the life of us, make this business roll for the solid 3 years.
And PR and marketing and all, like we had lots of knowledge behind us. We are smart cookies, you guys. And it was still like kind of like banging our head into a brick wall for about 3 years, I would say. And it was hard and it was tough, but that's one thing that we've learned even with our certification. If you can't give people those pieces that will make something solid enough that they're going to be able to go out and sell this thing, then what are you doing? You really haven't done much for people because their business isn't going to get off the ground.
That's right. And it's so, so important. So again, it doesn't matter. Like, first of all, if you are a first time owner, let's say into a horse business, or actually even into a business, being an entrepreneur, being self-employed, or if you are experiencing that you've already started a business with horses in this industry, but you're not finding that it's working for you. You're seeing that there's lots of holes or things missing. There's not a foundation to your business set up yet.
And even if you are an experienced business person that you've opened businesses, I got to tell you, a horse business, it's a little different. Like, it's not the same type of typical business piece and marketing and all of that good stuff that you would normally do for other businesses. So it's whomever you are, this could be a really good one for you today as well. And I see we got Tracy on, Jessica, Elizabeth, Flo, Tiana, Todd and Tanya are on too. Hello, hello. Oh, I finally caught a live. Good morning, beautiful ladies. Good morning. So we'll go a little bit into all of what we're talking about here. And what we're really talking about is our program that's called Business with Horses 101.
So this is not the certification course. This is actually to help any human on earth who's interested in becoming a successful business with horse owners. This is what this is about. So it's not the certification. This is just helping people like you globally to at least have the foundation and all the steps that are required in order to be successful at it.
And if you guys do have any business questions while we're on, please feel free to put them in as well, because we're here. Why not? Right?
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you ask the questions if you've got them? So Business with Horses 101 is actually a really cool piece in that it guides you through step by step. So it's not just saying, okay, you know your business and away you go. Because no matter how much we maybe know why we're wanting to do things, or maybe we have an idea of who we want to help, unless you flush all of those pieces out and in very much detail, it can be really, really hard to actually gauge yourself as to where you need to be in starting your business out in the first place.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
There we go.
So with Business with Horses 101, that's exactly what it does, is it takes your knowledge of what you think you know about your business. And I do say what you think you know, because even as we went through setting this up, we did it ourselves too, right? And we got to a deeper level of what we actually know about our business and why we're doing what we're doing. And at the end of the day, it's not about, if any of you are sitting out there and you say it's to make $1 million, you're kind of in the wrong place. So the thing with it is yes, you can make a very comfortable living, but your whys are very, very important as to why you want to be that life changer, why you want to help another human being, because that truly is our purpose within this world, is to help others in some way or another.
And here's the thing with business. Business cannot be taken personal. Now, sometimes we start off in our business with horses as, oh, I'm going to express this feeling and I'm going to tell this story and because stories are important. However, and I, when we do a lot of I's in our business, it really takes away from because no matter what, we're a team. We're a team. So it's actually just trying to figure out more specifics to what it is that you are trying to do with your business. But I just really want you to highlight, to mark it down. Don't take things personal in business, because when you start taking things personal, that's when it kind of messes with your brain. Because see, you feel that, you know that. But if your client doesn't understand the whys or why your business or service will help them, then it's being done all wrong. It can never be done from that point of view. We started understanding what our whys are personally, but then we have to develop it so that our clients understand the value to the business that you are actually offering to them.
And that value piece is so huge as well. It's pretty often that people will either undervalue themselves or overvalue themselves, but it's really interesting that you have to figure out what your actual value is and to not undersell that either. Because if you go and you just say, oh, well, I'll do it for cheap, just so then to get some people in through the door, well, people aren't going to take you seriously in the same way. And even with what Carrie was saying about telling the stories, yes, the stories are important but they don't necessarily compute to value when you're talking to other people if they don't fully understand. And then you end up having lots of quantity conversations with people about your business rather than quality conversations with people about your business. And I mean, you guys know, we love talking about our business.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
love the stories. We could go on for hours and hours about all of these pieces. But when we're talking to someone who maybe doesn't understand horses or maybe hasn't had the same interactions with them as we have, it's going to be kind of lost on them because they've already got a different idea of what everything is. So if we can't actually identify what our value is for the product or service that we're doing, we're kind of having these conversations that aren't really going to go anywhere with potential clients as well.
It's very true. So I think I'll tell you a little bit of my story, but just so that you can kind of understand where we failed, where we made huge mistakes.
First attempt in learning.
That's right. And then that's right. And then how we brought it to fruition to now be an international global company. So again, when we first started, I started first in 2008. I started getting certified in understanding how equine assisted learning worked. I'm like, no problem for business. What? I know business because I have been an entrepreneur all my life. Well, finger on the buzzer, that was the first mistake made, is because you see, when I started the business, I thought it was a horse business. So then Carolyn comes on with all her experience and expertise in the IT world and with her PR degree, which now means nothing because of course how social media works.
Social media came in the year I graduated. So it kind of blew a lot of things out of the water.
So here the two of us are trying to market this idea of, oh my goodness, this horse is going to help you. This horse is going to change your life. But you see, our clients didn't understand what it was that we were saying. So we had lots and lots, like 2 years of little Johnny, my son would love to take your riding programs. We're not talking riding programs, but yet, you see, we were in it so deep, like we couldn't see the forest through the trees anymore. And we were not understanding what the business was. Mm-hmm. And that was the hardest piece because I was 300,000 in the hole by the time we got to the third year. Now, Carolyn didn't worry about that, but she worried because she don't like my money being spent like that. My hubby finally is like, because I've used every line of credit. I've used every credit card because I believed in this business so much. But 300 in the hole, he did say after 3 years, you know, babe, if you don't start making some money soon, you do know you're going to have to go get a job. I'm like, I know, but I just totally believed in the power. And the best part, I think, for the Equine Connection is we did have a contract immediately with Siksika Youth Medicine Lodge. So that was lovely because at least we were getting a paycheck in, but we all know in horse business, that ain't enough to look after horses.
They eat it up, literally, pretty quick.
So here we're just stuck and still loving it, still trying to create everything we possibly can. But we had to actually take a step back to actually hire an outside person. Now, I usually don't believe in outside people because my frame of mind is I am a self-motivated entrepreneur. Why do I need help in that area? But you see, what I didn't get is outside coaches, outside people think differently. They have this creative brain that allows us to see what they see differently than what we're seeing.
Because we understood the value of what we were doing, but we didn't understand how to communicate it to people who didn't understand the value of what we were doing. That was the biggest thing, is that and then this guy comes in, blew our minds.
He was a stunning coach. He was expensive. And we still work with him today. That's the best part, when you know you have found a coach who just thinks ultimately different. He changes your business's world. See, this is why Business with Horses 101, this can change your world, because we take all now that we have learned through hiring this beautiful outside coach, which was $20,000 for 6 months, but he changed everything for us, because then we actually understood what it was that we are. Because if you don't know what your business is, you got a problem.
Yeah, a big one.
You're not going to go far. You might have the odd sale, but you need to set up a foundation. So your foundation of your business, no matter what happens in life, it's always so strong, it comes back, because you're very targeted and you're very clear on what it is. The other thing that changed for us is our value. Yes, because at that time too, we thought we were doing some stinking pricing, like, oh my gosh,
what a deal.
What a deal. And it comes with catered meal and everything. Well, we did it all wrong, because you see, we didn't understand who our competition is. And I do have to tell you, talking to many business owners globally around the world in the equine industry, in the horse business, actually too don't understand who their competition is. Everybody thinks it's another horse business. That is false. Put that up. False, false, false. That is the wrong way to look at who your competition is. Because once we understood that we're life skills, we're skills development, we had to look at companies that offered life skills and skills development. And we go into that deep into the course as well, which is, just so you know, it is a 9-week online course. You can take as long or as slow as you want to. It's always there for you. So the bonus is you can keep going back, repeat, 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 until you get it honed in on exactly what your business is.
And just to clarify too, you don't have to be doing what we do for this course to work for you. No. So even for the competition side, that's what we figured out about our competition. However, if you're a riding program, then you might be looking at competition being other riding programs, because that's parallel to what you do, right? So it really is, it's for all the different businesses out there where we're working with horses to do something with people.
Yeah. And I always go to baking. I have no idea why, but let's say for your horse business, you bake, I don't know, horse treats. Now that's where you have to now figure out, okay, so you're baking horse treats, but what is the benefit in baking homemade horse treats? Is there more value? Is there more quality to the treat that you're giving? Who is your competition? Yeah, it would be definitely in the food industry for animals, food industry than horses, and figuring out how do they compare to what it is that you're doing, so that you are starting to understand what is the value point on that cookie that you were making, or that treat.
Yeah, absolutely. And figuring out, who are you making it for?
Yes.
Right? Because are you making it for sport horses? Or are you making it for geriatric horses who maybe have some other issues going on? This is where it does take the 9 weeks.
Business is so hard. And this is why it's a beautiful step-by-step process. It doesn't take you away from doing the step. I mean, you could zoom through it, but I wouldn't, because if you're not clear in each of those steps, it makes you do tons of homework, so that, again, you're setting up that foundation so you're ready to come out of the gates with solid pricing, solid understanding of what your consumer is going to receive from you by them coming to you over your competition.
Even understanding your mission, that goes into your foundation as well, because you think of it like building a house, right? Yes, you've got that solid foundation there. If that piece isn't there for you to always come back to, the rest falls. So why you are doing this business with your mission or your vision statement, those pieces you have to keep coming back to. And yeah, it may change over the years, but you have to be really, really aware of what it was that brought you to the point where you wanted to start this business in the first place. Because when you lose sight of that, things can go really sideways really quickly for you as well, because you're not then doing the purpose of what you thought you were doing in the first place.
It is so true. And I want to go back to that money piece. And don't get us wrong. If your goal is to be a millionaire one day with horses, I mean, that is your goal. I always laugh, because I always say, I don't know how you become a millionaire, because it's horses. Well, horses are expensive, and that will always be a high business expense, overhead expense, if you will, towards your business. But I mean, again, if it is, it is. But I do find in this industry, and any of this horse industry, you have the crazy wacko kind of horse people, and you have the us kind of horse people. There doesn't seem to be a gray area with horse people. No. It's this way or this way. And so all of us who are in this area of, we want to learn more, we want to understand more, we just want to make a nice living, but be with our horses. we're not in it for the money like we were maybe when we were, I don't know, 20 sort of idea. We're in it to make a living, but have passion, have purpose, have that fulfillment that drives us, because we know life is so short and we want to do our own thing, be our own boss. That is worth, to me, that's priceless. That is worth $1 billion when you can close your eyes at the end of each day knowing you are doing it on your own with a team. Because to me, it's always team, whether it be social media, whether it be other coaches, whether it be doing this on our tribe. We're working together to help each other to move forward, right? So it's so exciting.
That's a super key piece to it too, because even from like my background is not being an entrepreneur. It is not like ever, I didn't ever have that be like, I want to be my own boss one day, because of that. Holy crap, that sounds like a ton of work. Like, has so much pressure. So for those of you who are out there who are like, I really want this, but I'm really nervous or scared about that being your own boss perspective, about owning your own business, this is where you got to start. Right? Because then once you have these pieces laid out, the rest you can easily continue to learn, grow, utilize the people around you, or the people in, like, even like this type of thing, just like Carrie was saying. But don't let the fear of that pressure being on you stop you from doing what it is that you want to do in life, right? Because it doesn't mean somebody else is going to open it, that you can just hop on the wagon and go ahead with it from there. Sometimes you got to start it yourself and face the fear and do that piece anyway. That even if you have that piece, it's kind of like at the back of your brain where I don't know if I can do it. This is where you start, just to get the base.
No, that's so true. And this is where a lot of people miss this. And then they try to make a business work. Then they get that, again, sporadic little payments here and there. And then they have discovered that their business is not successful, so they close it down.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing as well, is you have to also understand, and this is part of the Business with Horses 101, is your uniqueness and your gift. That's only yours. Like, there is nobody else in the world who has what you got. Now, I'm not saying, like, for us, we certify people in doing equine assisted learning. Well, there are hundreds and hundreds of us. But you see, each facilitator that we train, the one key to it is they're unique and gifted in their way that they facilitate. And of course, gifted in who the market is, their target market that they're wanting to do. This is why all of us can have a very successful business, because there's plenty for all, but we got to get it. Like, we are the unique, gifted in our own businesses. So even if I were next door to, I don't know, Carolyn and let's say Todd and Tanya, there would never be, to me, a piece that I'd be fearful in that, because you see, my target market's going to be different than Carolyn's, and my target market is going to be different than Todd and Tanya's. Plus, I get to bring my own gifted piece to what it is that I do in this business. And I know what my gift is. So it really helps us to understand that gift as well. And here's the other thing. If this is your dream in owning a horse business, in whatever direction it is you're wanting to go, it's going to be hard. I can promise you that. I am not ever going to falsely say that, yeah, take this course and you're going to make tons of money, because it's not. Because here's the thing, people. If you got a dream, dreams are hard. You got to prove that you want this. And I know in 2011, when I lost my mom and 4 horses in 8 weeks, and then I lost a 5th horse 6 months later, I tell you, my whole world and who I was, my identity and all that I knew and felt in business was really crumbling, because it's like, wow, if you're trying to tell me through all these deaths that this is not the industry for me, you're doing a terrible job. I did not like all of that pain. But you know what it did help me to understand is, hey, if this is your dream, you just going to crumble and quit? Or do you move through it? And this is why I love having solid backings in courses that help you, because you can always go back to it again. Even if your hubby is saying, this is never going to work, you're wasting our money, you just keep going back to the course. And you can see that through that foundation, just, you can't be hanging with the people who are not helping you to move forward, because the dream is hard enough on its own. But when you're working with humans that We'll all go through different things, but it will all go through it together in a way that you went through this hell. Oh, your hell was this. Your hell was that. Look at this. We're all together to help each other to still move through that piece. That's when that euphoric moment happens to your humanness, that you're like, I cannot believe I did this. Like, I moved through it. And, you know, even through pains and hurts, and there's so much in our hearts. And we just had to put down a horse yesterday. Still, it's always the hardest thing that you have to do when you have to put down a horse. But, you know, through those pieces, we still got to always keep it, because the pain doesn't go away. We just have to know that we still have to move through it, carrying our pain. But how do we work so that we're still in our nows, even with our pain? Because our pain will always be. It doesn't go away just because time has happened. It doesn't roll that way.
No, and even when, you know, things go sideways in your business. I mean, you look at this last year and a half here. If you don't have that foundation piece to know why you're doing what you're doing, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have been able to switch and change things up and move things forward in the way that we were able to, because we wouldn't have known why we were still doing what we were doing.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of ways through all of this that you have to adapt and improvise and overcome and overcome and overcome some more. It's not going to ever be an easy thing.
But so fun.
But and you learn more. You have more skills as you go through, and the more you can learn, the more you know how to handle different situations and to continue moving forward and continue learning more, because that's what you have to do every single day that you live and breathe to be able to have a business that you're running on your own. And when you have people who are coming through and their lives are changing as a result of working with your horses, or as a result of maybe being able to ride and have that ride of their life or something along those lines, when those things are happening, that's what gives you the forward momentum to keep it going, even through the hard pieces and, you know, the deaths, the pandemics, or whatever,
bankruptcy.
Yeah,
like we could be going through any of these hard pieces, and it's just part of the journey through going through it. I mean, life is definitely not easy, and nobody ever said it ever will be, but oh my heavenly, oh my goodness. I just cannot even comprehend, when you're strong and set up in a business, the fulfillment that it gives to your human body. Like, it's just so priceless, because you just would have never thought you could do it. And of course you can do it. Why not you? When people always say, oh, I need Oprah's autograph, or Ellen, or I don't know, Mick Jagger, I'm always like, why? They're just a human. They go to the bathroom just like us. They do the same things that we do. We're all human. So if Mick Jagger can do it, if Oprah can do it, why can't you? Why can't I? I'm unique. I'm gifted in my own way, right? Same with Carolyn. I thought Mike said something really good here too.
Yeah, this is when we were talking about the competition piece. And he says, I agree. Everyone comes to the body shop and asks me how we compare to the other shops in town. And my response is, we don't. None of those shops have me or any of my guys. We are like we are nothing like them. They are nothing like us. And that's a beautiful way of putting it too.
That is beauteous.
And that's, I think, that's the kind of attitude when you get the return customers. Because when you have, it's like you're just, oh, well, we're better because of this, this, and this, and this. But people don't really actually see that difference. It's the word of mouth. It's people seeing the difference and continuing to come back to the same place that really kind of amps it up and gets you that return business as well. And Regina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. It never does get easier. And it was funny, we were talking about her and why she felt like such a loss. And it was because she wasn't just our horse. She was everybody's horse that she touched and impacted. And she's a pretty amazing girl. So thank you very much for that, Regina.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Okay, let's tell a little bit more then about the course.
Yeah, before we end up tears again.
And it's a stinking cheap price. Now, this one I do have to say, it's stinking cheap.
Yes, for now.
Not like our certification course.
Yeah, well, which is
although our certification course, to me, when you think of everything that you get with it, it is outrageously an amazing price.
A higher ticket.
And I don't
worth every single freaking cent.
And I don't like saying cheap because cheap sounds cheap. So I'm going to retract that. It is an amazing value, for everything that
Yes.
you receive with it.
So just to give you an idea of what's in it. So how to set up your equine business online program. So that is the actual 9-week program itself that guides you through every single step of how you're going to be getting this set up for yourself. And again, all online. So it's easy for you to get to when you can get to it. And, scheduling some time though. I always think people get a lot of online courses and then they, you kind of dribble off a little bit. Schedule in the time to make sure that you're actually getting to do this for yourself and for your business. VIP accountability and support. So not only do you get this, you can get us too. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So we are there for you as well with your dedicated and committed instructors, which are us too. And Jane and Carson's in there as well. She knows.
Yes, that's right.
On the social media side. Exercises, videos, lots of videos.
See us yipping all the time, but in good ways.
Yeah.
Not just making jokes, very specific to, again, targeting that market that's yours.
Maybe we should put the blooper reel at the end of the course, just
We
so they can
should.
see
We'll do that.
number of different mistakes that we make still to this day, but that's just in how we talk. So those exercises, videos, and worksheets are all in there as well. So it's not just a matter of you're going to go through and just listen to us. You got to do some work in there too. So actually a fair amount of work as well. And then of course the unlimited and lifetime access. So we aren't going to take it away from you after the 9 weeks because we think it's really important that even as you change and your business changes, well, even the last year we had to go back and
COVID
and remember what it was that we were doing and why we were doing it. It's really essential when you can go back and still double check in on those pieces and make sure you're accountable to yourself and the vision for your business as well.
Yep.
So all those pieces are into it. And then the deal that we have for it, I'm going to make sure I don't mess this up. That's why I'm reading it.
Carson would be mad at us.
Yes, you would. So you can get the 5-day challenge, the business journal, and the business with horses for $203 Canadian by signing up through this link that we're going to pop up here. So normally this is $532, not $531, not $533, $532 normally for the 203 and Canadian for you Americans out there.
That's right. That's cheap like borscht. Now that
like
one,
borscht.
it is cheap like borscht because remember USA peeps, your money more like gold, our money more like bronze.
We're amping it up a bit, though.
We are.
Anybody who's contemplating that piece, we are starting to creep up a little bit. So now's your time before we get up
match
to
you.
80 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we'll match you again in the near future, but we are climbing the ladder a little bit. So I will put this in the comments or maybe in the description at the end as well. But just so you guys know where you can go to be able to find out all the lovely information about this, you're going to go to that https://bit.ly/challenge with horses. So that's where you will head to. I will put it in the description after so you can copy and paste it as well, because it's a little bit of a difficult one. But this is where you can go. You find out tons more information about what this course is all about, what you're going to get from it, and really how it's going to guide you through. And again, it's not for just the new business owner. It's not for just for the intermediate. It's for really anybody that wants to get their business with horses moving forward in the right way.
And I do have to tell you, even being self-employed again all my life, there is nothing more. Those words were not going to come out right. No. Nothing more stronger.
We teach people communication.
Yeah, we really do. But there's nothing more solid, even being an entrepreneur, in understanding things again in a more solid and different format. So even if you are a riding facility, going through this course it's so beautiful. You're successful already, but get those key components in, because we do know the world changed us all. It changed our whole business with everything we've gone through. And I still believe we're still not done yet. So, it's so important now that we understand what's our residual income going to be. I, as a business owner, always believe if you don't have an idea for your business and whatever it is you're doing in a residual income kind of way, then you see all we're getting is when we can just be together. And if anything like COVID, where we get shut down again, ever hits us, you see, then we're screwed, glued, and tattooed. As a business owner, you never want to be in a position that the world is putting you in that, because again, Business with Horses 101 can set you up even in different components of your horse business. And remember, it doesn't have to be equine assisted learning. It doesn't have to be riding, but again, it's just anything to do with an equine, a horse business to give you those solid foundations. And I tell you, that is a business write-off for you, which I love write-offs, and we talk about those as well. But it just gives you so much that you can keep going back on. So here's I'm going to do this for my riding program. Oh my goodness, now I see I can do this, this, and this. But I also have a second program for my residual income. I'm going to make this online course now so that I always have that. So maybe my riding clients can actually watch and preview some of these things before they even enter my arena and get on the back of my horse. So there's so many components to what you can do. And again, I would use business with horses for each separate entity in the business that you're doing.
For sure.
I wouldn't just use it as a whole. When you go generic like that, generic and wide does not roll in business.
Yeah, the foundation of why your organization is what it is that's your piece that you can keep coming back to for each different section you have with it. But it's even like defining who that person is that you're trying to help in each of those sections, because it's real easy to say, I want to help everybody. But when you say, I want to help everybody, you kind of end up helping nobody. When you really can define who it is that you're wanting to help with each of these sections within your business, that's what allows you to be able to get in front of them, to be able to actually help those people as well. So it does help you to dial those pieces back a little bit, so you actually know who these people exactly are that you are going out to help. And even breeders, they're breeders as a business, working with horses in that way. There's a lot of things that goes on in the breeding industry that maybe are ethical or not so ethical. There's a lot of things that is kind of a toss-up. So how do you actually get out there and say who you are and why you do what you do? It doesn't have to be, because that's still is a way of helping people with setting them up with the right horse or whatever else. There's still a passion and a purpose behind that, but you still have to know what it is about your business that is the solid foundation of why you do what you do.
That's right. Yeah. And it will be different than anyone else's. Are there any questions for any of you in this industry of business with horses that you'd like us to answer, like right now? Because I love business. Business is the greatest joy in the world. It really is.
We've got a couple other comments too. So yeah, Tanya and Todd, finally caught you guys live. Good morning, ladies. Just taking a mini snack break at summer camp, and the kids are loving the programs. Best career ever. So Kim is one of our certified facilitators. Todd and Tanya, this package that comes with this program, so that's what the certification program is, phenomenal and answered many questions, and couldn't have found success this quickly without the support and information. Good morning to Miss Penny. Yeah, we got lots of people.
Okay. Well, I guess I always say this is when we're instructing and doing our live Zoom virtual certified course. We must be that good that we've answered so many questions already. You don't need us to say anything more. So have an amazing day, everyone. Remember, if it's your dream, it's going to be hard. Embrace that and understand when you know it's going to be hard, it's so worth it when you actually understand what your goldmine business is. Because remember, you're unique and you're gifted and you're bringing you to your business. And then it's just understanding how do you then move it from there so that others understand the value to everything that you're offering to them as well. So you will totally enjoy.
Next week, we have a lovely guest in as well. That's going to be more on the inspirational story side of things. And I think you guys will really, really enjoy it as well. So make sure to tune in next week, 9 a.m. Wednesday.
Mountain time?
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Wednesday Mountain Time. Yep. That's the one. So we will have a fantastic guest on. So stay tuned for more information about that as well. And otherwise, have a fantastic week, everybody. And we got it. What is it like to run such a personal business? It's freaking awesome.
It is. I love that you asked that question, Jessica. I have to tell you, every day I personally wake up, I take a breath and I'm like, I cannot believe I get to do this for a living. Mm-hmm. Every time I set up the arena, I look around and I'm like, I can't believe I get to do this for a living. And then when the horses come in and I see them even walking, I'm like, I can't believe that I can own this many horses and I make a living.
Yeah. After saying, hi, Pony Pony.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have to tell you, it is so humbling and it feels like such a privilege, even though it's hell and it was a lot of work to get to this place. But I just think, what if I wouldn't have done that? Because one thing, my favorite book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read that when I was 18. But the one story in this book, which I always remember, was this guy was digging for gold and he stopped. And I can't even remember, but let's say he stopped 8 feet before he reached gold. Let's say that was the story. Then the guy after him comes in, of course, hits gold, not as hard, obviously, because he had already done so much digging. That's what always hit me. And then when I had Carolyn in with helping to move this business, and now there's 2 of us, we were able to I don't know, I see the picture. We did a lot of digging because we still knew that there was going to be gold and it was worth it. And we had tons of laughs, even through all the terrible, horrible, gut-wrenching times. We still laughed a lot. So that's why
we had to.
We did have to, but oh man, it really is. It's beautiful, Jessica.
I have to say it's same kind of deal for me as well, as that I don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, I have to go to work. Are there hard days? Yep, there sure are. Are there days that you're like, what the hell is going on right now? Yes, you betcha. There are frustrating things that happen all the time. But I can't remember one day that I woken up and thought, oh, I have to go to work. Right. I just get to wake up and I go to work and I'm happy to do so. And that is... And I've loved other jobs before too, but I've always still had that piece where, oh, I don't want to go to work today. I show up sick as a dog because I just like coming.
She does.
Really enjoy what we get to do because we get to live out a purpose where people get to grow and change their lives every single day while working with the beautiful creatures that are the horses. So it's pretty phenomenal, all in all.
Absolutely. So let's close off with hashtag, we are life changers. Each and every one of us. Don't ever doubt it. You are unique. You are gifted to yourself. We are life changers. Ow!